Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Round 14 in the bag. Meh. What could have went wrong? Went wrong. But we still managed to score okay. Scored okay. Only dropped 73 spots. So still ranked 298. Round 14, it's in the past, mate. Honestly, like, traded in Iro, LEHI gone, JC had an absolute shocker, Captain Cleary, meh. I haven't Captain Cleary all season, and I got reminded why. I think that we're going to have to get to a point soon where the whole Panthers are going to click and go back to the Panthers of last year. I think that's on the back burner a little bit. And I think Cleary turning up is going to be very few and far in between this season. I just don't think that he is a genuine captain choice this season. I think that there's going to be a lot better options week in, week out, as we've already seen so far this season. So, yeah. Massive week this week. There are so many things to go over. I'm still going to try and keep it under like 25 minutes. I don't really want to like drag it on too much. So it's going to be a lot of quick fire stuff. But there's a lot of trade targets out there that are genuine shouts for this week and going forward. So I'm going to go over all of, like, obviously the most traded in, most traded out players. My trades towards the back end of the pod, captains and whatnot. So I'll just quickly go over the scores and just give my thoughts, because that's what I've been doing. So I'm going to continue to do that. So obviously, like, I have to go back to round 14. So the Knights and Manly, I mean, the Knights actually had a crack in the second half. It's amazing what happens when, like, first graders start having, actually doing their job. Probably one of the biggest bed shits I've seen from Manly, though. Yeah. Wasn't a good look for Manly in the second half there. We'll quickly go over it. Sharp with a 119. Olakau'atu with a 115. Obviously, owning both of them was glorious. So I'm sitting there, first game of the round, licking my lips. I'm like, beautiful. Garrick 82, Olakau'atu 115, 119 for Sharp, Lucas 70. Mate, I'm kicking back, mate. Absolutely loving life. Gagai with an 84. I mentioned like 3 weeks ago that I liked Gagai as a play, and he's just so safe. Like, he's someone that if you're looking for a pod over the next few weeks, even for the rest of the season, like, you can't go wrong. Look at the score. Like, I'll read out the scores quickly for Gagai. I'll just say the last 5 rounds, right? So 84, 80, 72, 68, 68. And then you had a 71 before that. So he is just a cheaper version of Herbie Farnworth. There you go. Like, if you don't have the funds to get Herbie, get Gagai. Like, there's really not much difference. I think Herbie's got a bit more of an upside to him. But when it comes to safety net, like, Gagai is guaranteed to get you like 60 plus. So, and I think the Knights can start to turn around a little bit, not much. But keep in mind, the Knights' draw is quite bad going forward. On the Manly side of things, Olakau'atu obviously with a 115. Man, LEHI with a 2. That stings. The only thing that I can be like, that kind of like soothes the pain, is that everybody ended up trading him in, and I held him for the last 2 weeks and copped his back-to-back tons. So it kind of like, even like, it kind of softens the blow a little bit. But geez, like, Yeah, he's a trade out now. Like, he misses this week. They go into a bye next week. Like, he doesn't really play much footy. There's a lot of downgrade options. There's a lot of upgrade options, but we'll go over that later on. The Storm and Cows. Drinkwater awarded people who sold him 105 points. So I just don't really have too much interest in selling Drinky. Like, I understand there's a little bit of a dynamic shift in the way that the Cows attack. Obviously, like, you've got Purdue and Dearden in the halves now, and they're taking a bit. They are taking a bit away from Drinky. I'm just going to have to see it for another couple of weeks before I do make a definitive, like, choice on trading Drinky. But he could be an option. It's just a matter of who to. Like, I personally think that the three fullbacks that you want for the run home are going to be Teddy, Pappenhausen, and Drinky. There might be a world where, like, Latrell comes into play, especially at his price, but I just don't want to spend too many trades down at fullback this season. Like, it's the same with hooker. Kind of just want to, like, float your trades elsewhere. But I can understand why you'd want to trade Drinky after seeing how the Cows have been using Purdue in the halves and stuff. It's not very, like, favourable for Drinky, but anyway, I'll just say that I need to see a little bit more. Rest of the side with the Cows is not really relevant. Katoa with a 94. Grant finally with a good score. He's going to be someone that I'm going to be eyeing off. Like, essentially what I'm going to do is, it'll get to a point where Riley Smith will top out in price post-Origin. And then I'm just going to have to weigh up who I'd want for the run home. Because I could essentially just nuff Riley Smith at hooker. Because we're not going to play two hookers every single week, are we? So, nuff Riley Smith at hooker and use the funds elsewhere. Or go Starling up to Grant for the run home. I don't know, because Starling does a great job, but it's Harry Grant. So, gonna have to see a little bit more. Pappenhausen 75, Munster with a 60. The rest of the boys not really relevant. Dolphins and the Dragons, man. Oh boys, as a Dragons fan, like, that was a flogging, and there's no excuse really for it. I mean, yeah, there's really no excuse for it. At the end of the day, the Dolphins just came to play, and Katoa's looking so much better week in, week out. Asako piled it on. You know, like, at the end of the day, every single side so far this season has copped somewhat of a flogging at some point. Maybe not the Storm, actually. I don't know if they've copped the flogging, but a lot of the big sides, a lot of the bottom sides, they've all copped their beltings. And this is Dragons belting for the season so far. So, Herbie with a 105. Lord junk time as usual. This is the thing, right? And this is what I'm going to go over with my trades. At some point, Herbie is going to not score a try. And will that include him just scoring 50 to 60? Because I can tell you right now, there is a very good chance that Herbie doesn't score every single round for the rest of the season. He could. He could. I doubt it. But as a non-Omer, it shits me to fucking tears. Because you're sitting there, you're like, yeah, Herbie didn't score, yeah, 5 minutes to go, yeah, fucking get that up, yeah. And then, like, the second that you say it, it's like Herbie just goes, what was that? And then scores a try. So it happens every single week. So anyway, friends, that's a pain in the ass. So moving on, Max Plath, really shit for him, man. ACL, fuck. ACLs this season, they're just coming in quick and hot. Feel for the bloke. Sharks with an absolute bed shit against the Warriors. That was a really, really poor performance by the Sharks. Yeah. The Warriors are legit, man. The Warriors are legit. Metcalf is absolutely killing it at the moment. Harris Tavita's killing it. Aaron Clark, yeah. Like, I feel like I need to get some Warriors into my side. It's just a matter of picking who. Paying upwards for Clark, like, it feels gross, but he could be someone that I could genuinely go for. But that's the thing, like, when you look at my side later on, you're going to see, like, there's not really, like, options for me to really get Clark in. I'm not going to trade Tino to Clark, or I'm not going to trade Tarpin to Clark. All of them seem sideways, so my plans for the back end or after Origin is to get Payne Haas back in. So it's just going to be one to let through to the keepers. Couple of watches like RTS, he's a genuine shout. Like, at his price, I know that, like, we've gone over RTS in the past, and he's hurt a lot of people in the past, but the draw for the Warriors is decent, and at 572k, if you're after a pod, hear me out, I don't mind it. Hey, like, they've got Panthers, Broncos, Tigers, Knights, Titans, Dolphins, Dragons, Titans, Para. So there's a world there where, like, RTS could keep, like, the last three scores for Roger, 76, 89, 62. And that's against the Raiders, the Bunnies, and the Sharks. So I don't mind the play for RTS. Like, yeah, I really don't. I don't mind it at all. He's someone that I'm going to be keeping a little bit of an eye on. Moving on quickly. The Sharks, obviously, Iro with a 41. That's so gross. He's gone for 10 weeks. I trade him in. I broke Iro, guys. It was me. I broke Iro. Guide me down the street and throw tomatoes at me and pin me to the cross. Such a pain in the ass, man. Such a pain in the ass. I've been watching Iro for weeks now, and I'm like, yep, getting him in. Yep, getting him in. Yep, getting him in. Yep. I get him in. Cop that. So, yeah, shit times. Broncos finally put together a decent performance. 44-14 with the Titans. Yeah, look, there's really not much to go over too much. Ezra Mann making the Origin squad. Yeah. I'm sure he'll be driving the boys on the bus to the game, and that'll go down very, very well for everyone. So, yeah, 30 grand for doing that. Moving on. There's really not much to talk about with the Broncos. Like, yeah, most of them are pretty irrelevant. Same with the Titans. Jaden Campbell with a 27. Can I just shout out, right, to the soy boys out there? Last week, when everyone was like, oh, you're a fucking idiot for benching JC. He shits out 70, 80 points no matter who he plays. I heard you all, and I thought, you know what? I'm not even going to second guess playing him this week. And what happened? What happened, guys? Let me know in the comments. Just quietly. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, Furman with a 62. He's going to be a genuine play over the coming weeks now that he's been dropped from Origin. Raiders and Rabbitohs. Ethan Strange, fuck me. 142, man. He's one of those players that, like, if you get him in, he'll just be like 30, 30, 30, 180, 20, 90. He's just one of those players. At 5'8", like, yeah. There's no point trying to chase points. It's not going to happen. Hudson Young with a typical 87, man. This guy's... He is like... I genuinely... I'll tell you right now, and this is straight off the cuff. Between post-Origin, as in at the end of Game 3 towards the end of the season, Hudson Young will be the top scoring edge back rower in SuperCoach. Just have a look at Raiders' draw, and you'll understand why Hudson Young will be the guy that you want to get in. It's not going to be Angus. It's not going to be... Do you know what I mean? It's going to be Hudson Young, and most people won't be able to get him in. I am genuinely going to be having a look at nuffing someone very soon and getting Hudson Young into my side, because his ownership is very, very, very low. And up top, if I want to have any chance of winning Supercoach this season, I definitely need Hudson Young in my side for the run home. Tamale, man. Fuck. 3 points. I didn't play him. I chose to play Iro over Tamale. I feel so bad for him, man. He's been so good. Yeah, fuck. Tigers, Panthers. Cleary really didn't do anything for me as a captain. Jenkins rewarded people who have held him, but I mean, if you've held Jenkins for this long, I don't know what's doing there. Yeah, not much really to talk about in the Panthers side, which is bizarre. TAMALE with a typical 80. Skelton back with a 66. Yeah, that was actually a really, really good game. Watch that. So, Bulldogs, Eels. Karaz with a 90. He updated like 20 points, man. How do you miss 20 points? Well, I know that there was a lot of tackle breaks that they probably missed and some offloads that they've got to like put through, but Lomax with a 61. Lomax with a 61 in a well-beaten side. Like, I'm so glad that I've got Lomax for the run home and I don't need to worry about getting him in. Riley Smith with a 55. He's going to just keep churning out some cash for me, which is good. Kick out with a 78. Kick out's a genuine option. Like, if you need a pod in your 2RF, I really don't mind kick out as a shout. Galvin came off the bench with a try. Yeah, amazing stuff. He's honestly, like, let's just have a look quickly. I want to be able to have a look to see what the side looks like when Sexton, Burton, and Galvin are in the side all together. But if Galvin is a flat-out starter in the halves at 490k, I will do some things to get him in. I'm genuinely thinking about going Munster down to Galvin and run the Galvin JC type of combo until further notice. Because I like 5'8's a bit of a wasteland this season. And I think at 490k for Lockie Galvin in a side that's coming first in the comp, yeah, don't mind that at all. For the Eels, not much doing. Yeah, not much doing on the Eels side. Dylan Brown with a 19, man. He has just hung the boots up, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so moving on. Let's have a look at our side and let's just have a look and a little bit of a chit chat around some trade ideas and some thoughts. Righto. Now, obviously, we've got some problems, guys. We've got LEHI in, we've got Iro in, we've got Tamale in. So we've got 3 burning fires to put out. Now, there are a lot of options here. Now, for me, I feel like if I need to facilitate some moves, I would like to downgrade Tamale. So if I downgrade Tamale, I need to have a look at players like Hiroti, players like Ramian, players like Lawson, players like, you know, like I feel like there's going to be some pods here that you could go with. I feel like Lawson, I'm staying well away from Lawson. Like, I understand the whole get him in for some cash. You're going to have like all of this bank to play with, but I think that you need to understand that he's really not going to just make as much cash as you think, and he very well could turn into a nuff. If that's the case, you may as well just nuff him out completely, because I don't think that you really want to deal with him in your side as some form of nightmare that you want to deal with later on. So if you really want to get Lawson in, I think you're better off just nuffing straight out. I'm of the understanding when it comes to downgrading LEHI that if I want to downgrade him, I want to be able to get in the player who replaces Iro. And that's going to be Hiroti. So if I get Hiroti in, and at 390k, he's up against the Dragons, which is a great matchup this week at home, that gives me 180k. Now, for me, I now have to look at, do I keep LEHI? I'm not going to. So I need to have a look to see who is going to be my best option over the next few weeks. Now, I can move Lucas down into my centre wing and I can get in players up in my 2RF. So I could go back to Firma. I could go to Nikora. I could go to... Let's see. We'll have a look. Let's just have a look at what we could do in the 2RF. That could essentially cover buy rounds as well and the price range, right? So for me personally, I think Kickout is a genuine option. I think Preston has popped up. He's a genuine option. Like, he's not injured, keep in mind. Preston has been suspended. So he's going to be stinging to get back on that field. And I genuinely think Preston is a very good shout. You've got players like Curran, who keeps pumping out scores. You've got players like Ewan Aiken, if you haven't grabbed him already, but he's a plotter. I don't really think too much of him. Max Plath was going to be a great option. He has now done his ACL. So, Nikora. Nikora, for me, I'm really flirting with the idea around Nikora. I think up against the Dragons, he's going to ton up. And he's very cheap. So, like, Nikora, 493k. Up against the Dragons at home with a 55 break even. I really don't mind the Nikora shout right now because they come up with the Broncos. They come up against the Broncos next week, where a lot of the Broncos players will be on Origin, resting from Origin unless they back up. I think that could be a genuine play, and I'm very much considering it. My other option is to go to either Herbie or Asako. Now, I'm leaning towards Asako because I'll tell you why. If I go Asako, it gives me 218k, and then that way I can go Iro to Karaz. Now, Karaz for me is obviously playing in the centres, and he obviously will be probably playing in the centres come round 18 as well. But Karaz is one of those players that I want to finish the season with. So if I can get him in now, or you can get him in now, it saves you a headache. You're going to want him at some point. So if you can do it now, if you're an Iro owner and you just want to go straight to Karaz, go for gold. It'll save a headache later on. It'll also give you some cash. If you do similar trades to me, I've got 163k in the bank now, which will land me in a good position to then next week go Cleary down to Hughes and then Turbo up to Teddy. Clean sweep, done. And then that way, I've got Teddy, Drinky, Pappenhausen, Lomax, Karaz, Asako, Garrick, Fletcher Sharp. Do you know what I mean? Hines, JC. My 2RF is relatively stacked now. Kolomatangi, Katoa, Olakawatu, Dylan Lucas. I'm probably about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks away from having my final side. Let's just quickly go over, like, obviously Nathan Cleary are being traded out now, which I understand. If you want to do it now to fund other things, sure. Tino with 3,100 people trading him out, I kind of get it. Apparently he's got a little bit of an injury to his ribs, which is, I think it's his sternum, which obviously is impacting him. So I can get around it. People are trading Hosking out. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the go is there. A lot of people trading out Munster and Pappenhausen. I don't understand the Pappenhausen play unless it's to Tedesco. But yeah, I can see a lot of people are going Cleary to Katoa, which I can get around. I heard a lot about like the chat around DCE. For his price, sure. Do you know what I mean? Like, DCE could come out and get 120. But just keep in mind, DCE is at that price for a reason. That's all I'm going to say. So, DCE can 100% come out and absolutely brain it this week. Do you know what I mean? He can come out and absolutely brain it. But just be prepared that if he does score an 80 this week and then comes out next week and gets a 40, that's an average of 60 points over the next 2 games. So, I mean, look, for the price that you're paying him, it's not too bad. Anyway, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I won't lie to you guys. Those are going to be my trades. I'm going to be going Iro to Hiroti, Hopewadi to Osako, and Tamale to Karaz. I've got a boost left. I do. I'm not going to use it, but, oh man, like, I could genuinely go Hosking to Nicola, but I don't feel like that's worth a boost, and it sounds sideways at best. So that'll just about do it, guys. Thank you all for tuning in once again. The Soy Boys were absolutely loving it on the weekend with my score, but at the end of the day, I'm still in the top 300. So enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Let us know in the comments your trade ideas. Let us know what you're considering doing for captain. I'm on VC Hines this week, and captain is going to be up in the air. Could be Colin Matangi. It could be Turbo. It could be, who knows? But I'll let you all know on the Facebook page. All right, cheers, guys, and good luck this week.